A heart attack is rarely a sudden occurrence. Long before the tragic event, the body starts sending signals, warning of the impending danger, sometimes weeks or even months in advance. Millions of people fall victim to sudden heart attacks every year, often unaware that their body was desperately trying to warn them. These precursors can include unexplained fatigue, fleeting chest discomfort, or even a sense of anxiety arising for no apparent reason. It is important to understand that these symptoms can be silent cries for help from a heart in distress. Remarkably, up to 80% of heart attacks could be prevented if people recognized these early signs in time and sought medical attention. The following will examine 8 critical warning signs that may appear a month before a heart attack. These signals should not be underestimated, as some may seem minor or harmless. Ignoring these signs can have fatal consequences. The first of these signs is often overlooked, but it may be the last warning before disaster. The first warning sign of impending doom may be an upset stomach or heartburn. Many tend to underestimate heartburn, considering it just a minor digestive disorder triggered by heavy meals, a penchant for spicy foods, or excessive coffee consumption. But what if that burning sensation in your chest is a false lead, and the real source of the problem is not in your stomach at all? It is quite possible that this is your heart desperately trying to convey information about a much more serious threat. Stomach discomfort can serve as an early precursor to a heart attack, especially in those who do not experience the typical crushing chest pain usually associated with the condition. The main difficulty is that acid reflux and cardiac chest pain can manifest almost identically. Both conditions can cause a burning or pressure sensation in the chest, and both can occur after eating. However, while heartburn is the result of exposure to stomach acid, cardiac discomfort is caused by restricted blood flow to the heart, leading to oxygen starvation of this vital organ. The human body does not always find it easy to make a clear distinction between these two conditions. The heart and stomach share common nerve pathways, so when the heart malfunctions, the brain may misinterpret the signals, causing a feeling of an upset stomach. This is especially true for women, people with diabetes, and the elderly, whose heart attack symptoms often manifest in a more veiled form. How do you recognize when it's time to sound the alarm? If heartburn is accompanied by nausea, profuse cold sweats, a feeling of faintness, or pain radiating to the jaw, limbs, or back, these symptoms should not be neglected under any circumstances. They may indicate serious heart problems, and delay in this situation can have tragic consequences. The second warning sign is unusual, debilitating fatigue. Imagine a situation. You wake up in the morning and feel more tired than in the evening, even after a full night's rest. Suddenly, familiar tasks, such as carrying groceries or simply getting through the day, seem like an impossible task. You can attribute this to stress, age-related changes, or a hectic pace of life. But what if this deep exhaustion is a harbinger of a more serious problem? This fatigue is different from the usual fatigue that goes away after rest. It persists for days or even weeks and tends to progress. A person feels completely exhausted even after performing simple activities such as taking a shower or making the bed. Some patients describe this condition as feeling like the flu, but without a fever or nasal congestion. The connection between fatigue and cardiovascular health lies in the circulatory system. When the heart fails to pump blood efficiently, the blood supply to the muscles and brain deteriorates, leading to weakness, dizziness, and blurred consciousness. In response to the difficulties that have arisen, the body begins to redistribute blood, directing it to the most important organs, which can manifest as a feeling of weakness or heaviness in the limbs. As circulation worsens, the feeling of exhaustion increases, even in the absence of physical exertion. Many people who have had a heart attack have reported unusual fatigue in the weeks leading up to it, but dismissed it as insignificant. Don't repeat this mistake. The body sends signals, and it's crucial to heed them in time, without waiting for a critical situation. Another alarming sign is sleep disturbances. A person lies in bed, feeling tired, but cannot fall asleep, despite the absence of any thoughts. Night after night, they toss and turn, sometimes waking up from shortness of breath or sudden jolts for no apparent reason. This condition causes irritation but is often attributed to stress, age-related changes, or disruptions in sleep patterns. Sleep disturbances, particularly difficulty falling asleep, frequent awakenings during the night, or feeling unrefreshed even after prolonged sleep, can be early indicators of cardiovascular problems. The connection between poor sleep quality and heart disease is not obvious to everyone, but this connection is significant. When the heart malfunctions, the body has difficulty maintaining stable blood pressure and optimal oxygen levels, which are critical for adequate rest. One serious problem is nocturnal hypoxemia, characterized by a decrease in blood oxygen levels during sleep. This condition can be caused by decreased blood flow due to narrowed arteries, making it difficult for the heart to effectively supply the body with oxygen. The brain, detecting this problem, triggers microarousals, brief periods of wakefulness that may go unnoticed but disrupt sleep structure and lead to fatigue the next day. Another important factor is the role of the autonomic nervous system, which regulates involuntary bodily functions such as heart rate and blood pressure. When the heart is under stress due to blocked vessels or an impending heart attack, this system can become overactive at night, causing adrenaline rushes and making it difficult to fall asleep. This explains why many people experience sudden awakenings, vivid nightmares, or a racing heartbeat in the weeks leading up to a heart attack. Imagine a situation. You're climbing stairs, a routine activity that previously caused no difficulty. However, this time something is different. Before even reaching the middle of the staircase, you experience sudden shortness of breath, as if you've just completed a marathon. You stop to catch your breath, but air enters your lungs with difficulty. Perhaps it's simply overexertion or lack of physical fitness, or it could be a symptom of a more serious problem. Don't underestimate mild shortness of breath, as it can be an early sign of heart disease. Often, people mistakenly believe that breathing problems are solely related to lung diseases such as asthma or a cold. However, it's important to remember the close relationship between the heart and lungs. When the heart has difficulty pumping blood, the lungs have to work twice as hard to provide the body with oxygen, which leads to sudden shortness of breath. It's important to understand the difference between normal shortness of breath that occurs after intense physical exertion and shortness of breath caused by heart problems. If you're breathless after a strenuous workout, that's perfectly natural. But if shortness of breath appears suddenly while performing everyday tasks, such as walking, climbing stairs, or even talking, it could be a warning sign requiring immediate medical attention. Sometimes, shortness of breath can overtake a person even at rest or in a horizontal position, forcing them to suddenly get up in the middle of the night to restore normal breathing. This phenomenon is due to fluid accumulation in the lungs, resulting from the heart's ineffective pumping of blood, leading to a condition known as pulmonary congestion. This symptom is particularly dangerous because it develops gradually and imperceptibly. Initially, a person may experience mild shortness of breath during physical exertion, but over time, even minor activity causes a feeling of breathlessness. Many people neglect this symptom, attributing it to age-related changes or insufficient physical fitness. However, when shortness of breath progresses for no apparent reason, it often indicates serious heart problems requiring immediate attention. Another alarming sign is pain or discomfort in the jaw or neck area. Pain in these areas is often a precursor to a heart attack, which, unfortunately, often goes unnoticed. While many people are aware of the intense chest pain that accompanies heart disease, discomfort in the jaw, throat, or neck is usually not associated with heart problems, which can lead to a dangerous delay in seeking medical help. It's a common mistake to dismiss such sensations, underestimating their potential danger, when they can be a serious distress signal coming from the heart. Pain sensations associated with the heart sometimes manifest in unexpected areas such as the jaw, neck, or even teeth. This phenomenon is explained by the absence of pain receptors in the heart similar to those found in the skin or muscle tissue. Instead, when the heart is under stress, such as from insufficient blood supply, it sends signals via the vagus nerve. This nerve originates in the brain, passes through the chest, and reaches various parts of the upper body. As a result, the brain may misinterpret heart pain as originating from the jaw or neck. Adding to the complexity is the fact that this type of pain can be intermittent. One day a person may experience minor jaw pain, and another day feel stiffness in the neck. At times, the discomfort may even temporarily disappear, only to return during periods of stress or after physical exertion. This inconsistency of symptoms contributes to their being ignored until the problem becomes truly serious. How do you determine if discomfort in the jaw or neck is an ominous sign coming from the heart? If the pain sensations arise suddenly, are different from the usual, or are accompanied by alarming symptoms such as difficulty breathing, nausea, lightheadedness, or exhaustion, it is crucial not to be careless. If the pain intensifies during physical activity but subsides at rest, it may be a serious sign indicating angina, a condition in which the heart experiences a blood supply deficit. The sixth alarming sign is dizziness or lightheadedness. Imagine a situation. You are going about your daily activities, and suddenly the world around you begins to tilt. A wave of dizziness washes over you, depriving you of balance. Perhaps this is just the result of dehydration or getting up too quickly, but if this happens repeatedly, it's worth considering. The sensation of dizziness, close to loss of consciousness, may pass in a few seconds, and you are inclined to dismiss it. But what if this fleeting faintness hides a more serious threat? The first warning sign of possible problems in the cardiovascular system may be a suddenly overwhelming feeling of instability or general weakness. Ignoring such signals is out of the question, because they can be an eloquent cry for help from your heart. The heart, this tireless engine, constantly pumps oxygen-rich blood to all organs and tissues, including the brain. If blood flow is restricted, for example, due to narrowed blood vessels or the presence of any heart pathology, the brain may experience oxygen starvation. This, in turn, is fraught with dizziness or a feeling of impending loss of consciousness, even when a person is not subjected to significant physical exertion. Some patients describe this condition as an attack of weakness, when the body seems to lose control, while others experience a strange feeling of floating, as if the ground is slipping away from under their feet. It is important to note that cardiac dizziness, unlike dizziness caused by, say, dehydration or a sudden change in body position, occurs spontaneously, without apparent cause. It does not follow any predictable pattern and can overtake a person in any position, sitting, standing, or even lying down. How do you determine when dizziness becomes a sign of alarm? If a person is haunted by regular episodes of unexplained lightheadedness, or if this condition is accompanied by other symptoms, such as exhaustion, difficulty breathing, or unpleasant sensations in the chest, do not ignore these signs. The body is sending a warning signal, and the sooner you respond to it, the higher the likelihood of preventing a life-threatening heart attack. The seventh sign of impending danger may be pain in the upper back or shoulders. A person tries to stretch their shoulders to get rid of the dull pain spreading across the upper back. Perhaps the reason lies in an uncomfortable sleeping position or prolonged sitting. Shoulder rotations do not bring relief, and the discomfort only intensifies, penetrating into the shoulder blades and sometimes even spreading down the arms. This pain can be irritating, but not unbearable. However, pain in the upper back or shoulders can be an early and often overlooked precursor to a heart attack. Unlike the sharp, stabbing pain caused by trauma, cardiac discomfort is often felt as a deep, spreading pressure or tightness. This is because the nerves transmitting pain signals from the heart don't always send them directly to the chest. Instead, they can radiate to other areas of the body, including the back, shoulders, neck, and even arms. Certain categories of people are significantly more likely to experience upper back pain as a precursor to a heart attack. Specifically, women, people with diabetes, and older adults are more prone to experiencing discomfort in areas other than the typical chest pain. Additionally, individuals with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or a history of smoking are also at increased risk. If a person falls into any of these risk groups and suddenly experiences unexplained back or shoulder pain, it's crucial not to ignore these symptoms. It's prudent to be vigilant and seek advice from a medical professional if any doubts arise. One of the most insidious, yet often ignored, signs of an impending heart attack is mild chest discomfort that is episodic in nature. The word episodic is important to note, as this discomfort doesn't always manifest with high intensity and isn't constant. Instead, it comes and goes, leading to the mistaken belief that it doesn't pose a serious threat. However, the actual processes occurring in the body may indicate a much more serious problem. When the heart muscle experiences a lack of blood supply, a temporary oxygen shortage occurs, which seriously hinders its normal functioning and efficient pumping of blood. This condition, known in medicine as angina, doesn't always manifest as sharp pain, but rather as a pressure, tightness, or even a heavy sensation in the chest. It's important to note that, unlike a myocardial infarction, angina is transient. Unpleasant sensations may last only a few minutes and then disappear without a trace as soon as blood flow to the heart is restored. It's this brevity that often leads many people to disregard the symptom. However, underestimating angina is extremely dangerous, as it's a direct signal of an impending heart attack. In the initial stage, discomfort may only occur during significant physical exertion, such as climbing a hill, carrying heavy objects, or even in stressful situations. The fact that the unpleasant sensations pass at rest creates a false sense of security. Over time, as atherosclerosis progresses and the arteries narrow, discomfort begins to occur more frequently and with less exertion. Ultimately, it may appear even at complete rest. When this moment arrives, it may be a matter of hours or even minutes before the heart is on the verge of catastrophe. The danger of this symptom is also due to the fact that it doesn't always manifest as classic pain. Patients describe it as a feeling of tightness in the chest, like a constricting corset, a feeling of heaviness, as if something is pressing from the inside, a burning sensation that can easily be confused with heartburn, a feeling of fullness, or simply discomfort resembling bloating, but in the chest area. Notably, unpleasant sensations can radiate to the arms, shoulders, neck, lower jaw, and even the upper back. If such discomfort occurs more and more often, lasts longer, or is accompanied by signs such as dizziness, nausea, profuse sweating, or difficulty breathing, don't delay. When the pain becomes intense and constant, a person may already be in the midst of a large myocardial infarction. It's important to remember prevention. A heart attack doesn't occur suddenly. It's the culmination of a long-term process of gradual damage. Everyone has the opportunity to prevent a tragic turn of events. Every choice made today affects the state of the heart in the future. Diet either promotes the development of the disease or resists it. You should avoid processed foods, trans fats, and excessive sugar consumption. Instead, it's necessary to saturate the body with whole foods, vegetables, lean sources of protein, and heart-healthy fats, such as olive oil and fish. Every meal is a chance to strengthen and protect your arteries. Physical activity is not just a way to stay in shape, it's a vital necessity, a guarantee of longevity and health. The heart, like any other muscle, needs regular training, otherwise it weakens and becomes vulnerable. Even a short but brisk walk for half an hour each day can significantly reduce the risk of developing cardiovascular diseases. The modern lifestyle, characterized by prolonged sitting, requires immediate correction. Stress, that subtle yet insidious enemy, can deal a crushing blow to the cardiovascular system. Chronic nervous tension leads to increased blood pressure, constriction of blood vessels, and the development of inflammatory processes in the body. It is essential to master effective stress management techniques, such as meditation, breathing exercises, or establishing clear boundaries in personal and professional life. The heart needs rest and peace, just like oxygen. Smoking and alcohol abuse have a devastating effect on the heart, undermining its health from within. Quitting smoking is a top priority, as each cigarette smoked causes irreparable damage to the arteries. Alcohol consumption requires strict adherence to moderation. It is important to remember that the negative consequences of these harmful habits accumulate much faster than one might imagine. There are so-called silent killers, such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes, that require constant monitoring. Regular checkups and tests can save lives. Without tracking these indicators, it is impossible to effectively manage your health. The fate of your heart is not predetermined. It is shaped by your daily decisions and actions. Start taking care of your heart today, because your future depends on it.